Well, obviously, she has a tremendous following, kind of a cult following of sorts. So it could go either way, but I don't think it'll be a distraction to a guy like that. Travis is one of the best in the game. It's going to be tough to distract him. If anything, it'll elevate him. It'll elevate his brand, elevate his play. Obviously, he and Patrick Mahomes are good enough to say, hey, we need a touchdown because Taylor Swift's in the house. Let's get this done. And, of course, they get it done. So these are the Super Bowl champions. They've been to 5 consecutive AFC championships. They've won multiple Super Bowls. I don't think this will be a distraction. I think this is perfect. I mean, they're taking Hollywood to Kansas City, kind of like Deion's doing for Boulder, Colorado. You know, you getting Taylor Swift to Kansas City, and the way she was excited, Skip, I know there's some wives out there that aren't that excited when their husbands make a play. She was out there, unless she's the biggest Kansas City fan in the world that I didn't know, I think there's something there.
Hey, Richard, she wasn't even all that excited compared to the brother that was next to her. The brother that was next to her, look at him, man. This dude, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. He's going nuts about the touchdown.
Right.
Wait a minute. She's screaming.
She chest bumping him. I'm like, who is that?
But I don't see anywhere where it's going to have a problem, a distraction for the team at all. I mean, every team, not every team, but a lot of teams and a lot of players have dated celebrities. Okay, whether you knew it openly in the public or not.
No, I got it.
That has happened throughout sports. So I don't see where it all of a sudden becomes an issue for Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is already at the top. She's obviously at the top of her game. This isn't one of those situations where you got a guy who is up and coming who all of a sudden bumps into a Swiftie and then boom. Now this is different. They both at the top of the level. And if they are dating or whatever the case, so what? Big deal. I mean, yay. I mean, that's the way I kind of look at it, Skip.
I'm with you. Travis Kelce has earned the right to date Taylor Swift and get away with it in that he's only the greatest pass-catching tight end I've ever seen. So he is at the top of the top. Yet I have seen this with younger players where they get involved with a megastar and it just eats them alive because they get distracted. The team gets distracted. The team is going to get asked a whole bunch of questions. And I don't know how you'd feel as a teammate. How many Taylor Swift questions can you answer before you finally say, okay, that's enough of this?
Well, I think as a teammate, though, Skip, as you're asking me this question, I really don't have any answers for you because what he's doing has nothing to do with me. So to say, hey, have you met Taylor Swift? It's a simple yes or no. Yeah, you met her. How is she? What was she like? She was cool. I know how to keep it moving. I don't have to engage deeply in those conversations, much like you said, though. If you're young, that's when I worry about the distraction as young players getting involved in something that may be a little bit too big for them, Richard.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that's going to end up being a joke around the team. When you got a winning team and you got a winning culture, stuff like that becomes a hilarious joke. They're going to joke about it with Travis all the time. It's going to be a running joke in the locker room. They're going to be like, hey, is Swift around? I don't know if I could, are your bodyguards around? They'll make jokes out of it. It'll be fun because they're a winning team. They have a great culture. They have a championship culture, a championship team, a great quarterback. Now, if they were a losing team, if they were a team that's about to pick top 5 in the draft, maybe it would be a distraction. Maybe it could get annoying. But when you're winning,
she wouldn't be there. She just wouldn't. That would be beneath her. But go ahead.
Right. She wouldn't be on no bottom 5 roster with no bottom 5. She's on one of the best teams in the National Football League. That's where she at with the Swifties.
All right. So just off the top of my head, I flash back to 2007 Spurs. Tony Parker and Eva Longoria. It got to the point where she was riding on the team plane because she had been accepted by the team as kind of a little sister or big sister, however you want to look at it. And everybody loved her. Tony obviously was smitten, and he rose to the occasion by winning the MVP in the finals when they swept LeBron. Remember, this is 2007. The point being, that worked, the relationship, they got married, but then it didn't work out, whatever, but it worked for the Spurs. It was not a distraction. I think I could argue it actually helped team morale. And then I think of Jessica Simpson, infamously with Tony Romo, and they're dating, and Jason Witten, his wife, and Tony and Jessica go to Cabo in the break, in the bye week, before they were going to play Eli's Giants at home, and they had #1 seed home field advantage in the NFC. And you know the rest of the story. Remember, as T.O. left after the game, "That's my quarterback." Remember that? But the point was, it was a huge distraction. And I don't think that one worked out for anybody. I think Tony was a little off focus because she was a lot for him to deal with at that point in his career.
And that was Tony, you mentioned at that point in his career.
Yes.
It was a lot. But also,
he had accomplished next to nothing.
He wasn't Travis Kelce.
No, he was not.
Travis Kelce, for whatever it is, he's already in the spotlight, whether it's a podcast, whether it's dozens of commercials. You know, he has already dated publicly with people out and about and understanding his personal life. So it's totally different. It's a totally different situation.
Richard, back to you. What about Sierra and Russell Wilson? You witnessed that up close and personal, obviously, in Seattle. How did that come to pass? How did it work?
I mean, it was fine. It wasn't a big deal. You know, nobody treated her like a big deal. He was dating. She would come around for training camps, for practices. It was cool. He was happy. We were happy. You know, at the end of the day, it's about how you go out there and execute. You know, he's not asking me about my wife. I'm not asking him about his wife. You know, just because she's a celebrity, I don't think it becomes a big deal in the locker room. Now, Taylor Swift is a different story because there may be young guys that mess with Travis. Travis is a more fun personality. Russ is pretty much about business, you know, in and out of the locker room. But Travis is going to be a fun dude. I'm sure he's going to have fun with it. I'm sure the guys are going to have fun with it. I don't know where it's going to go, but it's going to be a fun story for us to continue to watch.
Now, I don't know a whole lot about Taylor Swift, not a big fan, but the point is, I thought she was a big Eagles fan because she grew up in a Philadelphia suburb, but she actually picked correctly here if in fact she's diehard Eagles because his brother obviously is an Eagle. So mom has the classic split jersey that she wears. So maybe that works for her to be an Eagles and a Chiefs fan at the same time.
Yeah, it could be. It could work for her. I don't know much about her either. I was in the car with my daughter and her friends the other day, and they were talking about Taylor Swift or something, and I made a comment, and the young lady in the back seat almost jumped on me in the car. She's only like 12 years old. I was like, huh?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but
your daughter, is she?
They're not playing about Taylor Swift. They're not playing about her.
My daughter obviously knows about him, but her and her friends, they kind of know all about all the.
But is she a big fan, or you're not sure?
I think she is. I think she.
You got to keep up with this stuff.
Man, I don't know anything except I need tickets to a concert. That's all I know. She obviously is a big fan, come to think of it, because they flew to Arizona to her concert.
They did?
Yeah, they flew to Arizona to her concert.
I've never seen anything like it. She is enormous. All right, enough about Taylor Swift. Back to the real NFL. Are the Dolphins not only the best team in the NFL, is this the most explosive offense we've ever seen in NFL history? It just might be. No mercy, no mercy, no mercy. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.